Hey guys, Steve Welcher, Beeman Toyota in Nashville. I'm going to do something for you guys here that I've wanted to do for a while, but I didn't really have the ability. As most of you guys know, I do the majority of my videos by myself, just for several reasons. But one of them is just I spend a lot of time on them, and I don't really need to have anybody else really help me usually. So. That being said, what I want to do is I want to show you guys safety sense, all right? I've talked about it. I've done videos about it. I have, made all kinds of things for you when it comes to, telling you what safety sense is. Let's take this box off the window there for us here. But I've made all kinds of videos for you guys to try to help you out. I've never made a driving video. I've never showed you guys how to do this because I didn't have the ability to do it. Now, I will tell you, and I'm going to go ahead and kind of start moving here so I can kind of get this hopefully in a shorter video. I will tell you that, and I'll have the mirror up here too, so you can hopefully see me here too. So while I'm driving, you can still see me. But so I wasn't, or anyway, so I bought something that's going to help me out here. It does still have a little bit of a vibration, so bear with me if we're hitting some bumps. I'm working it out here to try to figure out how to make this the best way, but I really think this is going to work well for us. So we have a couple little vibrations there. If that happens, so be it. But once we get on the highway, it should be a lot better for us. And I did a dry run with it, and it did work out pretty good. So bear with me here. So now we have several different kinds of safety sense. All right, guys. So we have safety sense C, which was like on a Prius C. It was one of the lower levels. It stood for compact. All right, but you had the pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, lane departure only, no steering assist, and automatic high beams. That was safety sense C. Safety sense P was the next level of it, and that stood for safety sense premium. That was the level of it. So that being said, sorry, I'm watching traffic at the same time, so if I pause for a second, bear with me. But the Safety Sense Premium was on more of your larger vehicles, your Highlanders, your RAV4s, things like that. By the way, I'm in a limited RAV4 hybrid here, in case you guys are wondering what this is. So, but the Premium gave you a few extra things. The Premium gave you it still had the pre-collision system, still had your lane departure, but now you had steering assist in your lane departure, as long as it wasn't on a truck. But we'll get over that here in a little bit too. But you also had your automatic high beams, normal, right? And then you added dynamic radar cruise control, and I'm going to show you what that is here in just a second as well. All right, so I'm just getting on the highway here, so apologize for these bumps, but all right, we should level out pretty good. So anyway, what I'm going to show you is right here, I'm turning on your safety sense, right, on your lane departure. I'm going to turn on our cruise control just to kind of get set here, all right? Over 32 miles per hour, the safety sense for your lane departure will kick in over 32. So what you'll notice, if I start getting over, you'll see it beeps and turns the steering wheel back to keep me in my lane, right? And it's going to tell me to keep my hands on the wheel, all right? But it's just kind of keeping me over. What I can do is once I set my dynamic cruise control, you'll see that I can set the distance here to the car ahead of me, but that lane departure now turns into lane tracing, all right? So now what lane tracing is going to do, and I'm going to have to bump off this here for a second. I'm going to turn on my turn signal. By the way, if you turn on your turn signal, lane departure and lane tracing, it disables it for a second so you can get into your other lane, all right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit resume, all right? And I'm just going to try to follow the car ahead of me, all right? So I've got it set. Here, look, I've set it to 70, all right? So that being said, you can see I'm not going 70, I'm going 68, all right? But I'm following with the flow of traffic, the car ahead of me, all right? Now, if I change this distance, you can see that I've changed the distance. The car's going to start to back off because you get about 6 car lengths or so at the farthest. You get about 3 car lengths, about 3 car lengths at the shortest, and you get somewhere in between for the other 2, all right? So now what you're going to notice here, while I'm in this cruise control, it's actually going to help me to steer, all right? So if you look, see, I'm not steering the car around this corner, all right? I have my hands handy. Definitely, I want to make sure that I'm in control of the vehicle. But you can see that the vehicle is actually steering itself. If I do this long enough, you're going to get hold steering wheel because it can sense that I don't have my hands on the steering wheel, all right? And if you do it enough times, it's going to tell you to take a break because it thinks you're being inattentive, all right? But if you take a look, you can see that as I'm here, it's turning the steering wheel. So I'm maintaining my speed to the car ahead of me, and I'm maintaining my distance to the car ahead of me, and I'm maintaining my lane with the help of the car. Now, any safety system never eliminates the driver. You always want to make sure you're in control, all right? But you're going to see that you also have road sign detection. So as you pass a sign that's a speed limit sign, a stop, yield, or do not enter, it's going to actually put it on the list there. And I want to slow down just a little bit here because I don't want to go too much below the flow of traffic, even though it's a little bit above the speed limit, because I definitely want to stay safe. But it'll put the speed limit sign directly on your dash, all right? So you can always look down and, whenever you get somewhere and go, okay, what's the speed limit here? And you can figure out your answer, all right? So that being said, like I said, I'm still in this dynamic cruise control, right? Now, there's a pre-collision system, and actually, let me back up before I talk about the pre-collision system. Obviously, I'm not going by notes here. I'm going by just my head here. But anyway, the dynamic cruise control, depending on which system you have, which you can have Safety Sense C, which doesn't have dynamic cruise control, Safety Sense P, which does. You can have Safety Sense 2.0 and 2.5, which both have dynamic radar cruise control. Now, there's, like in my 18 Highlander, it's not full speed. So dynamic radar cruise control will, once you get to 25 miles an hour, it just shuts your cruise control off and you're coasting at that point. The full speed dynamic radar cruise control will actually take you all the way to a stop. Once you stop, you tap the gas again and it'll try to put you back up to exactly where you had your vehicle set. All right, so that being said, you can figure out which one you have. It's usually on your window sticker which one you have, but you definitely want to make sure you know which one you have. All right, and usually I believe you have to be at like 28 in order to actually engage your cruise control. So, but don't quote me on that one, but I believe that's the number. So, and the lane departure and the lane tracing will only happen if you're in. The lane tracing will only happen if you're in dynamic radar cruise control, and will also only happen above 32 miles per hour. If I hadn't said that yet. Now you hear that beep. I kind of crossed that line a little bit, just giving me a little heads up that I was across that line. Now we're going to hit a couple bumps here. My dry run showed me that, so we're going to shake for just a second, but we should be all right here shortly. So now I do want to tell you about the pre-collision system. So your pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, right? If it watches the car ahead of you. Now, if I was going 80 miles an hour and you see these cars braking ahead of me, the car would notice that I was about to hit that car and would give me a beep, 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 and would turn the center screen bright red and would say stop. If I didn't do anything, the car would hit the brakes using everything it's got, all right, to try to stop that imminent collision, all right? So if I take over, the car will let me have it. So if I'm in control and I hit the gas and I go off to the side, if I do something to try to save the vehicle, the car will let me have it. All right. So that being said, am I going to show you how it works? No. All right. I'm not going to play with aiming at a car and going, hey, let's see if the brakes work. It does work. It saved me and on a trip with my family. I've done another video about that trip, so it definitely does work. But let's not try it, okay, guys? But I'm very confident it would work if it needed to, because I've seen it work several times, and I've had several interactions with people who did work for them. So, but anyway, that being said, that's all part of Safety Sense. The other thing you've got as part of Safety Sense is your automatic high beams. All right, so your headlights may or may not be automatic on your headlights, but usually there's a button on the dash with an exception of just a couple, like the older Sienna. that if you hit the button and then you push the high beams, your high beams will be armed, and it will actually turn on or off your high beams whether or not it sees headlights or brake lights ahead of you, as long as it's dark, obviously dark enough. So that being said, if there's no button for the high beam, it looks like the headlight symbol, by the way. But if there's no button for it, then you just try it, and you'll see that it's probably where you turn your, like on the Sienna, where you turn it to auto on your headlights, and then you push it forward, and it does the rest. It doesn't need any extra help. So, with that being said, so anyway, I'm going to go back into our dynamic cruise control, show you a little bit more. Like I said, once you hit your turn signal, it's not going to fight you. All right, and then once you establish yourself back in the lane, you can see that I've got a very, very loose grip on the wheel here, but you can see that the wheel is actually going to follow the lines. Now, you use a couple things. There's a radar that's in the emblem up front, and there's a camera up here. All right, that camera is watching your lanes. All right, so now in your Safety Sense P, you didn't have the lane tracing ability. All right, you have the lane tracing ability in the 2.0 and the 2.5 plus, which the 2.5 plus is the new one that's only on the Highlander, the CHR, and the Camry. This RAV4 has 2.0 in your Safety Sense system. All right, so that being said, you can see that it's going to maintain that center lane. It's going to kind of turn itself. It's not a replacement for you to drive. Don't sit there and read a book while you're driving. Don't play on your phone, do text messages, things like that. Now, you have to have the ability to have lines for the vehicle to really function properly this way. So don't just assume your car is going to do it right. You always want to be alert. Of course, you always want to be on guard anytime you're driving, of course. So, with that being said, you're really going to love the fact that this can take care of you. If you ever have that inattentive time, you ever have an issue, this could actually save you. So it's really good that it can help. So now the new 2.5 system has a couple of features in the Safety Sense that the 2.0 system doesn't have. Now, it has everything the 2.0 has, but it also gives you the ability to where if you are about to turn across a lane and a car's coming at a high rate of speed and it's basically a T-bone is imminent, your car can actually stop you from making that turn until that traffic's cleared. It can also actually watch for somebody in the crosswalks of either side, a left or a right turn. It can stop you from making that turn as well. So it's just, everything Toyota is doing is about safety, about making you safer, and about keeping you safer. All right, so we're definitely happy Toyota does that. Now, I will tell you something else. And if you looked at a lot of the other manufacturers, you'll notice that they only put the top safety systems on the top trim levels. So you had to buy a car that was $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 more than the base level to get any of the extra safety features. Well, Toyota, and to their credit, they said, you know what? And by the way, you see this is slowing down. This car got in front. It's actually hitting the brakes to slow down to maintain the speed of the car that's ahead of me, and it's going to speed up because I'm going 45 right now and it's at 66. So if I hadn't been paying attention and that car got in front of me, I wouldn't have had to have done anything. All right. So, just saying, or if that car all of a sudden did, the car can react quicker than a lot of us can. All right. Like right now, it's going to start slowing me down again. See? So really cool it does that. But so back to what I was saying, Toyota didn't want to say your safety requires you to pay a premium, which is, if you think about it, the old adage, how much is your life worth? Would you pay an extra $5,000 for a car if it was guaranteed that if that you were going to get into a wreck with a different car and you weren't going to make it? Would you pay an extra $5,000? Well, every one of us would. That's a no-brainer, right? But you don't know what's going to happen, right? So you're putting a premium on well, we're only going to give you the top safety system if you pay the most money. Toyota didn't do it that way. Toyota said, look, let's keep everybody safe. And if you get, and this is from really 17 on, if you get even the base level car, it had some type of safety sense in it. And that's true to this day. And then, oh, well, there's a huge upcharge for that. There's really not. If you look at them, they're in line with where they were with the other cars. They're right in line with that. So there's not a huge difference in price just between 1 year to the next when they added safety sense. Toyota didn't want you to have to weigh, do I want to spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 more than the base level car because I want my family safe? Toyota said, no, we're going to have you safe regardless. Now, I've had some people argue that, well, yeah, but they don't put blind spot monitors on everything. You're right, but blind spot monitor is a convenience item. You don't need a blind spot monitor to be safe. You check your mirror, you look behind you, you have your rear view mirror. All that stuff's going to help keep you safe. And if you just do the right things, then yeah, you're going to be safer. But with safety sense, somebody slams on their brakes in front of you and you don't get to the brake in time where the computer could have got there faster. Well, that's different, guys. That's something where you were not able to do it, but the car could, and it did. And then it uses the star safety system and just everything you can think about to keep you safe, they're going to do. So it's really amazing that Toyota's done this for so long, and they've, now here's the other thing I'll tell you. Is Toyota ever going to be the cheapest car if you look comparable to other manufacturers? Probably not. But they're also not going to be the cheapest resale. They're also not going to be, unreliable. There's a lot of things that Toyota is not. Toyota is one of the most reliable cars on the market, gets some of the best fuel economy, costs some of the least amount to repair, and it's one of the safest cars. So, will it cost a couple dollars more? Sure. But, man, it's worth it, guys. I put my family in Toyotas, and I hope you would too. So I'm just trying to show you guys here, and I appreciate every one of you guys and people that have asked me for a drive when it comes to safety sense. I hope I've showed you guys some of what you wanted to see and some of what you needed to see. I appreciate you bearing with me through the vibrations here, and we've taken a nice little test drive and saw a little bit of Nashville. But so like I said, I'm just going to kind of go a little bit back over what we were on, or what we were talking about. So all of them have some type of pre-collision system, no matter which safety sense you get, as long as you got safety sense. They all have the pre-collision system. They all have some type of lane departure warning. The 2.0, and the 2.5 all have the steering assist, but your 2.0 and 2.5 have your lane tracing. 2.0 and 2.5 have your road sign detection, which will detect your speed limit and all of that. All right. Your automatic high beams are on all of them that have safety sense, so you don't have to worry about anything there. Your full speed, you could have your dynamic radar cruise control is on everything that's not the C, so not the compact one, but some have full speed, some have the down to 25 miles per hour, so partial speed, whatever you want to call it. So make sure you know which one you have. But like I said, this is a basic run of the safety sense. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to unlatch this here, so it's going to bounce for a second. Oh, apologize for that, guys. But I did want to show you guys something else. So sorry about that fell on me there a little bit. I did want to show you this. This is for the your lane departure and lane tracing. That turns it on, right? Turns it off, turns it on, right? Lane tracing's on, steering assist active, right? You can change the level of your steering assist. You can change all of that, right? Cruise control turns on right here, right? And you can actually press this when you turn it on and hold it, and it'll go back to conventional cruise control instead of dynamic. Turn it off, turn it back on, it goes back to dynamic. This is for your distance to the car ahead of you, right? So that's about your 6 car lengths. That's about your 4.5 or so. That's about your 3. You see it's right up there. It could be in different spots. Some cars have it like right in the middle. Some cars have just that little dash there, but that's what that's identifying, right? And then just below that, you saw that the speed limit sign had popped up there. I will show you too over here. This is that button I told you about for your automatic high beams. So if you did that, you had this on auto and pushed that forward, then it would turn on your automatic high beams as to be armed. All right. And you could actually, if you turn this on, you can see that icon right there means your lights are on, and then your automatic high beams are armed. But I've just turned this because we're daylight here, so I just turned that on manually. So you can still do all that manually if you choose to. But that's just kind of giving me an idea there. So definitely, guys, hopefully I've helped you guys out to know a little bit more about safety sense. Like I said, this is my first time trying this. I got this new mount. I mean, definitely let me know what you think there. Sorry about the vibrations. I appreciate you sticking all the way through. Appreciate everyone of you guys that watch my videos all the time. Always trying to make you guys safer, make you guys know more about Toyotas and why they are so amazing. So I sure do appreciate you guys. Steve Welch of Beam Toyota. You guys are looking for a car, definitely let me know. I'm more than happy to help you to get one. I'd love to show you a lot of what I've got here. Getting more and more inventory every day. Got a lot of stuff coming in, a lot of stuff going out. Like I said, I'm currently in a RAV4 Limited. Realize that this one is the Safety Sense 2.0. I've got the Highlanders, I've got the Camrys, I've got the RAVs, Corollas, whatever you want, I've got it, guys. New, used cars, whatever you're looking for. Definitely, if you're in the Nashville area, come down here. If you want to come down and work with me, we'll have a good time. I've had people fly in from all over the country to buy cars. So definitely love helping you guys. Love your comments, and hopefully you guys can comment on this. If I left something out, I don't think I did. We had enough time there. We were talking about it. I didn't want to make this video an hour long. If you're looking about the pre-collision system, if you're looking about how to shut certain things off, I've got videos out there about that, but please don't do that because it's going to help you guys. There's not a reason to shut it off unless you really, really want to. But hopefully I've helped you guys out here. Steve Welch with Beam Toyota in Nashville, showing you guys your Toyota safety sense right along here. Hope you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.